we have a video here, kind of a supercut of elected Democrats making some of those arguments that Jonah was talking about. I want to show that here. It's really indicative of kind of the, yes, it was a really, really bad night, but line that we've seen from a lot of Biden's allies, some of his closest allies in the party.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the...
Yes, there was a slow start, but it was a strong finish.
And as I say, we've got to have the back of this president. You don't turn your back because of one performance.
There bad debates happen.
It's a problem. It's a bad night.
The president had a difficult night, just like every single one of us do.
It was preparation overload.
I think it was a weak debate performance by President Biden, but I think side by side, Donald Trump had a horrifying debate performance.
The choice is one terribly bad night versus a decade of destruction.
Nice little graphic there at the end. Kevin, is that the choice, as Mika pointed out, that one bad night versus a decade of destruction?
Yeah. There it is. No, it's not one bad night. I mean, Biden has been a baleful influence on American public life for the entirety of my life. He won his first election the year I was born, and was his first federal election anyway, and has not improved during that 50 years. He's a mess, and he's been a mess. As I've said before on many occasions, I think in terms of the hygiene, the political hygiene and health of the country, that a literally brain dead Joe Biden would be preferable to a vigorous and energetic Donald Trump. The sole saving grace of Trump last time around was he was too stupid and lazy to cause as much trouble as a man who was competent and committed could have done in that position. And that's what we'll be praying for next time around, is he's even dumber and lazier and slightly diminished himself. You know who I want to be right now? I want to be Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris right now is the most powerful person in the United States of America, if only she would allow herself to be, because she's uniquely positioned to do something. I've been writing about this for months, and she won't listen to me, but who knows why. It's like you're talking about the editorial. Between our editorial and the New York Times editorial, together, I think those accounted for about 50% of the effect. And Kamala Harris is not a Kevin Williamson.
In that case, ours might have been more influential, actually.
Right. There's something she could do. Now, she's got to know, she's not a great political thinker, but she knows she's not going to be president. And she knows that if they hand the keys to the White House back over to Donald Trump, they're going down in history as the, Neville Chamberlains of American politics. And I say this is a guy who wrote a column defending Neville Chamberlain not too long ago, but they're going to have bad reputations. So if she can get her head and her heart to deal with the fact that she's not going to be president, at least not for a while, and think about what she does want to do, she can have anything she wants. She can be the person who stabs Biden in the back, makes the speech, says he's got to go, and says, everyone in the party was very encouraging toward me, treated me very respectfully because they care about women and people of color. But I've decided what I really can do to contribute best to American life is be chancellor of the University of California system, or go back to California and run for governor because now the way has been cleared for me. And maybe I'm going to have a seat on the board of Google and Apple and make a few $1 million a year from that stuff too. And she could ask for anything. She could ask for almost anything that's within the power of partisan Democrats in California to give, which is a lot. They control a lot of stuff in that state. They really probably could, particularly if it was Gavin Newsom who stepped in. They could clear the way for her to be the nominee for the governor, I assume.
She could be a Jedi in the next Star Wars franchise.
She could be a Jedi. Cornel West was in the Matrix. Why not? But she definitely could get some, big university job. If she wants to be a Harvard professor, she wants an MSNBC contract, she wants $1 million a year, she wants $5 million a year. They can get her what she wants. She is uniquely positioned to both be the shiv and the person who benefits most mightily from getting Biden pushed aside, if she could just get past the fact that she's not going to be president. Now, maybe if she went and ran for governor of California and won and was a pretty good governor for a while, which by California standards, how good do you really have to be? Maybe she comes back and runs for president sometime in the future. She's relatively young. I mean, she's not in her 90s, so she's a spring chicken by American political standards. And she just doesn't seem to have the imagination to do it, or the willpower, or whatever. And this is the mystery of Washington to me. If the parties and the elites and the insiders and all that stuff actually were 1/10 as ruthless and well organized and powerful as the conspiracy theorists say, this would have already happened. It would have happened weeks ago or even months ago. But it's such a mystery to me that Washington is this city that is full of smart, energetic people, all of whom want something, and no one can figure out how to be the person to get what he wants out of this. And instead, they're just going to dead march themselves into the Indiana Jones boat propeller and just get chopped up into fish bait.